Hey, how you doing? I got a glass from KC. I didn't see you standing
I know
up.
that too well.
I didn't see you. Okay.
Well, since I don't have Buffy here to yell at me, it's time to start. Hello, folks at home. Welcome to Travel is Fun Tours. This is our March Travel Club meeting, and I'll talk to you guys too. But I got a room full of folks. I'm amazed how many of you guys made it here with no food today. They're remodeling the kitchen, and they should be back open for business tomorrow, of course. Not today, tomorrow. But she was kind enough to call me up and let me know they would be closed, so I whipped an email out to everybody who's on my email list. If you did not get an email telling you about today's meeting and the lack of lunch here, go to our website when you got a minute, and if you click on the little envelope up by the bus, you can put your name on the email list. And I got 1,000 people on that list right now, so that'll get you up to speed and get you all the announcements when I make them. Anyway, welcome to Travel is Fun Tours, March Travel Club. We're going to get kicking off here, maybe. Come on. Well, I had a mishap on the trip to Macon, where I dropped my good computer. There we go. Let's see, that worked. Okay, now we got it. So we are a small family-owned business. Dad and Lori are working in the office. Ollie and I are over here tending to your needs, and I'm going to tell you all about the upcoming trips. We are responsive to your needs. We want you to be so happy that people have to sandblast the smile off your face after the tour is over. And we want them to wonder, what's wrong with you? Why is that person smiling so much? Because they had a good time on a Travel is Fun tour. We are fully licensed and insured, so we are a legitimate, solid, real business licensed by the state of Florida, all that jazz, so you don't have to worry about us disappearing in the middle of the night with the money that you paid for a trip coming up in a month or 3 months, like some folks do. We've got over 40 years of experience, and I've got at least 40 years to go before I finish paying off Wendy's student loans. So you can count on Travel is Fun being here for at least another 40 years. We have up to date, let's see, and I will be 99 in 140 years, so I should be just figuring it out by then. We have up-to-date modern motor coaches. We go out with March First Class. We have some excellent drivers, and we have good support. We actually found out we had a nail in the back tire on the Macon trip, and we drove a little ways with it, praying and crossing our fingers, but we got roadside assistance, and I got to see where the spare tire is on the bus. Anybody know besides me?
You told us.
That's cheating. You were on the bus. It's under the driver. The front end folds down, and the tire just slides out from under the driver there. So now you know if I need you to change the tire, you know where to go look. And there comes the bus now. We have lots of multi-day tours. I'm going to tell you about all the upcoming multi-day tours. They're kind of color-coded. You can tell if they're on the pastel paper. That's one we made up all by our little selves. We did all the contracting. If you see these full color ones like that, that means that was put together by Diamond Tours for us. And I'll tell you about the differences between our tours and Diamond Tours when we get to one. We also do a ton of day trips. We're going to take you to dinner theaters and museums and shopping and mystery tours and casinos and concerts and God knows what else. If it looks like you guys may possibly be interested in it, or even if you may not be interested in it, I'll give it a try anyway, because that's how I find out. Would you believe Dad was talking yesterday about going back to Dinosaur World in July? I don't know what's on that man's mind. In July. See? That's what I was thinking. Maybe in the fall, Dad. You have an optional travel club. This is kind of like the appendix. It's an artifact of the past. Before we had internet and email and all these other ways to communicate with you, We used to have a travel club. If you wanted to get all these papers mailed to you, you join the travel club. We'd mail it to you. We'd give you a name tag, and to kind of pay you back for joining, we would give you $2 off your trips. At the heyday of this, I was mailing out 1,600 pieces a month. These days, it's about 400. Most of you guys follow us on email and on the website, which is greener and easier to manage. I definitely don't mind not stuffing and sealing 1,200 envelopes. That was a big chore. It is $18 to join. You still get your $2 off the trips, $15 to renew, and you get a nice name tag. So those are your benefits. Again, it is not a requirement. Any of your friends, neighbors, anybody you know is welcome to come on the bus and follow us on the website. And if they would like this stuff in their mailbox, they can join the travel club too. Bottom line with travel is fun. We are here to be friendly and courteous and very informative. Wendy came up with all kinds of interesting stuff on the Macon tour, I thought. And she had a lot of fun in one of our destinations telling everybody where the ghosts were and all about the ghosts. We try to keep you comfortable on that coach. It can be a little tricky because everybody has a different thermostat in them, but the bus has one thermostat. So we like you to dress kind of light and maybe bring a blanket or a jacket so you can kind of warm yourself up if you're in a cold section. And most of all, we just want you to have fun, pack a bag, leave all your cares at home, and let's go have a good time. So speaking of good times, it's time for Where in the World. Does everybody have their little yellow slip? Did anybody slip by? Ollie, you got them all? Good. Make sure you put your name on there, because if nobody gets my Where in the World, then we'll do a drawing. It is a place the bus has been before. The best answer wins the prize. The more details you put down, name of the place, address, zip code, all of that stuff. No phone a friend. Who here has won already this year? Barb has. Anybody else? Buffy, but Buffy's not here. All right, so third month of the year. And winner gets $25 off their next trip, if I left that out. Are you guys ready for your clue?
Sure.
Here it comes. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. I think that's a tough one. I don't know about you. Anyway, that's probably enough staring there. We're going to move on and tell you about upcoming trips. So highlights of upcoming trips. The next couple of trips. Tomorrow, Lunch Bunch is going. It's not full. It's got a little bit of space. If you want to join us, we're going to go to Fred's Market and Parksdale Farms over in Plant City and have a really good time. We're going to sing happy birthday to all 6 of my birthday kids tomorrow. Holy cow, that's half the bus. 2 trips that are kind of on life support. On Saturday, we're supposed to go to see the primates and go to Tarpon Springs. I don't have nearly enough folks for that to run, so I think Lori's canceled that already. And same thing with Disney on Ice. You guys seem to not like Disney on Ice anymore. That used to be a big seller for us.
I got the phone call that was already.
Yeah. So yeah, those 2 are falling by the wayside. However, the MacDill Air Show has about 40 folks on there. So that means you've got plenty of room if you'd still like to go. I'm going to be ordering the chairs for that in a couple of days. So the MacDill Air Show, they got a chance to see the stealth bomber do a flyover. The Thunderbirds are going to be there. You can walk through the static displays where the aircraft will be sitting on the tarmac. They have other interesting displays inside some of the hangars, so you can get out of the sun for a few minutes. Part of the package, you're going to get a folding chair from me. You're going to get a nice water bottle and earplugs. The folding chair is so you have a place to sit to watch the air show itself. If you're smart, you go park that folding chair under one of the wings of a C-141 because it's got huge wings and you'll have shade. Although you probably need to get there early because other people will figure that out too. The water bottle is because you can't take fluids through the gate, but they do have a water station, so you can take your water bottle, fill it up, and have nice cool water to drink and stay hydrated so that you're not cranky on the drive home. And the earplugs, self-explanatory. Those jets can be very loud, so you do want to stick those in your ears. I will be putting those in your water bottle, so take them out of your water bottle before you put water in there, because you don't want to choke on earplugs when you're drinking your water. Anyway, that is the air show. And then jumping into April, we've got the Total Eclipse of the Sun tour. I can take 2, maybe 3 more people on that before we're going to call it closed. One of the hitches is we already bought the t-shirts. So you're going to, if you're joining me this late, you won't have a lot of choice on t-shirt sizes. But it's the last total eclipse of the sun in North America till the year 2045. However, in 2045, it does go right through Pinellas County. So all you got to do is be patient and wait, 21 years, and you'll get to see it right here. You can come hang out in the nursing home with me. 13 meals included. That's all your breakfasts, and all of your dinners are included. Did I do that? Right? Wow. That's a pretty good deal. 2 nights in Austin, Texas for the eclipse. New Orleans and Space Center Houston stops. The New Orleans stop, we're staying in the Drury Plaza, walking distance from the French Quarter, right down the street from the Harrah's Casino. We're going to plan to get there hopefully mid-afternoon and give you the evening to explore New Orleans. And we're not going to leave the next day till probably around lunchtime. So you'll have a great time there. You have a beautiful custom t-shirt designed by the beautiful and talented Wendy. And we have those in a box at home. She's sorting them and getting them ready to distribute. And we have the eclipse glasses already because I bought those 6 months ago and I've had them blocking my desk all that time. So this is a bucket list trip. You don't want to miss it. And I know it's a little more expensive per day than our average. A lot of that is because we're staying in Austin, Texas, 2 nights, which is right on the path of the eclipse. So every hotel in the whole country that is on the path of this eclipse for those 2 days around the eclipse, if they were a $120 hotel, now they're a $300, $400, $500, $600, $700, $800 hotel. And I'm not exaggerating. Some of the hotels that are normally around $100, $150 were literally $800 for 1 night. Apparently not. They're getting away with it. If you don't go on the eclipse with me, you can keep Dad company. He's going to take you to Wild, Florida and Keenanville, Florida. And they'll start out with a safari ride around to go see all the critters. You can go feed the giraffes at the giraffe station. You do have to climb some steps to get up there. And then they're going to go by the zoo, which is nice and shady, has a boardwalk and lots of beautiful critters for you to engage with. If you want to spend a little extra money, you can go to the gift shop and buy a ticket to actually go in the enclosure with some of these animals. Some of the featured critters, you can go hang out with a sloth and be right next to him. You can go in with the porcupine. You can go in and have lunch with alligators. They set up a little card table and bring you lunch. Yeah, hopefully you are lunch. And they have some nice restaurants there you can eat at. April 9th, we're going to go see Southeast Guide Dogs, and that's down around Sarasota area. That's going to have lunch at Anna Maria Oyster Bar on your own. It's a very touching performance where they call it Beyond the Dark, and they show you how the dogs are selected and trained and how the owners are trained to work with the dogs so that they become a symbiotic unit. April 12th, we're going to do Mosaic. I think most of you guys have heard this clip, but we'll play it one more time. That's going to be up at Suncoast Broadway in Hudson, and will include a very good dinner. Hopefully it plays. Is this just fantasy? Caught in a landslide, no escape from reality. Open your eyes, look up to the skies and see. They don't actually move that jerky, that's just my computer. If you didn't hear my sad story, I dropped my good computer on the Macon trip, so this is my backup. And I'm just thrilled it's working at all. Anyway, the wind blows, does it really matter to me? Anyway, these are a world famous a cappella group. They are really good, and I think you'd enjoy them. It'll include a great dinner. They got a cash bar. If the next day we're going down to Fort Myers to the Broadway Palm Dinner Theater, where you have your choice of two shows. They're doing Addams Family, the musical, based on the old Charles Addams comics and the TV show. And in this one, the story is the kids are a little older. Wednesday Addams, the older child, has found a boyfriend, and they're going to get married. So she's bringing his kind of normal family back to have dinner with the Addams. And they're all under strict orders to behave normal and not scare the boyfriend and his mother and dad away. It does involve a giant squid in the basement, and Uncle Fester pursues a love affair with the moon. So, a typical Addams Family kind of story. A lot of great songs in this, great music, real good performances. Food is fantastic down there. They got a great dessert table. They got a cash bar. The other show is Sweet Delilah Swim Club, and that'll be in the smaller theater. So the only difference is in the big theater, you eat at the same table, you watch the show. The smaller theater, you eat in a dining room like this, and then you go into theater seating for the show. Sweet Delilah Swim Club is one of these stories about a bunch of Southern women, and they get together every summer at a swim cottage and share their lives. So you follow them over the decades as they go through all the stages of life. There is a third alternative on that bus that day. If you're a shopper and you want to go to Flea Master's Flea Market, that is very near the theater. So last time we did this, we had about, 18, 19 people go to the flea market while the other folks were seeing shows. So that kind of worked out good, it seemed like. April 14th, we got the Victory Casino Cruise. That is out of Port Canaveral. It's a very nice cruise ship. Takes you out into the Atlantic, and they've got machines and table games and all that stuff. Your package is going to include boarding the ship, which usually there's a charge for that. It's also going to include some reimbursed free play. There's a point where you play enough money on the machine, it will credit you back for it. It's kind of complicated to me, but those of you who know these machines know how that works. We also get a coupon for a meal. Now, if you pair up, 2 of you can share a lunch and 2 of you could share a dinner off those coupons. But each of you will get 1 coupon for a meal. So that's a nice trip. You're sitting out in the sun. I like to take a book and read on the deck. They've got live entertainment. Usually it's a steel drum band, I think, but that's kind of nice. April 15th, we've got the Webster Flea Market with our own Wendy taking you shopping. We don't go to Webster real often. It does have almost enough people to run, so it looks like it will go, but we do need some more folks to get it across that finish line and make sure I keep Wendy really busy on tax day so she doesn't spend the whole tax refund. Lunch Bunch in April is going to be at the Reese Cliff Family Diner. They've been in business 90 years this year, and so I guess they figured out how to cook pretty good food. I just went over the menu. We're going to have meatloaf. We've got traditional turkey and dressing dinner. I think I've got a fish sandwich on there and a few other goodies and a nice dessert. So we're going to go over to Lakeland and enjoy Reese Cliff. Again, if you're a girl and it's your birthday in April, we're going to give you a tiara and beads and sing happy birthday and try to embarrass you. For the fellas, I have some strange headgear for you too to try and keep you part of the game. April 19th, we've got the Tampa International Airport behind the scenes tour. So we're going to get over to Tampa and we're going to have lunch on our own first. You got dozens of choices at the airport. Oh dear. Thank you.
I don't know who I got, I guess from the office.
I couldn't tell you. We have an update for May when we get there. Anyway, Tampa International Airport. After lunch, we're all going to gather probably under the giant pink flamingo, and we're going to go on a tour of Tampa International Airport. So we're going to take you behind the scenes, show you where they lose your luggage.
Yeah.
They're going to take you where the tender, loving mercies of TSA takes care of you. So you won't be under pressure to catch a flight. You can just enjoy the misery of others vicariously and maybe laugh a little bit as you get to watch all this going on.
Can I take a plane ride?
Could you take a plane ride? If you've got your identification and a credit card, you could probably take a plane ride, but I will not be bringing you home on the bus then. April 28th, we're going to go to Stage West Theater up in Brooksville, and they're going to be doing Savannah Sipping Society, and it's another one of these heartfelt comedies about some women later in life, and they're getting together. They've gotten together over the years and share stories about putting up with crazy men and rotten children and everything that life has coming with it. That one is going to have a stop at Golden Corral for lunch on your own. I was just informed by Miss Ollie that the Brooksville Blueberry Festival has been postponed.
That came from Lori.
Came from Lori. So Lori ruining my day again. Thanks, Lori.
It was on the news last night.
Was it? Okay, so apparently we will not be doing the Brooksville Blueberry Festival with Stage West. So maybe I'll come up with something else to do up near Brooksville. Maybe we could go to Weeki Wachee that day or something and see if we can fill that in. So I wanted to try and inspire you guys. I don't have silly jokes this time, just some kind of inspiring thoughts. Nope, no shower thoughts today. These are sincere.
Amen.
Yep. If you can't read it back there, do not regret growing older. It's a privilege denied to many. I know we all have friends who didn't make it that far. So here's to absent friends. I like this one. I've seen better days. I've also seen worse. I don't have everything I want, but I do have all I need. I woke up with some aches and pains, but I woke up.
Yay.
My life may not be perfect, but I am blessed.
Yay.
Aren't these good?
Yeah.
Wendy sent me these. Live your life and forget your age.
Amen.
I love Wendy.
Okay, we're going to jump into May. Now it's time to look at May. So we're going to start May off on May the 4th. Anybody know what holiday May the 4th is? It is Cinco de Mayo Eve. I'll give you that. It's also Star Wars Day for a lot of nerds because it's May the 4th to be with you. Yeah. So we're going to go see the Shen Yun performance at the Mahaffey, and it is a traveling show showcasing Chinese culture, and their byline is China before communism. So they go back to China before the mid-1900s and show you what the art and the music and the dancing was all about. It's a breathtaking show. My dad thinks it's one of the best he's ever seen. And it's going to be at the Mahaffey, which has a beautiful new art exhibit in the lobby, in my opinion. They've got a moon in the lobby that's probably 15, 20 feet across. If you've ever drive by there at night, you see that thing lit up, it looks like they captured the moon and stuck it in the lobby. It's amazing.
Oh, I know.
Okay, speaking of Cinco de Mayo, we've got two departures on Cinco. Number one is going to be South Pacific at the Suncoast Broadway up in Hudson. Great musical. I'm going to wash that man right out of my hair, and a lot of other great songs. Okay, turn it off. I'm training my assistant here so we can drive along. Okay. So South Pacific, it's a World War II story about Ensign Nellie Forbush. She's a spunky nurse from Arkansas. She falls in love with a French painter named Emile Debec. When Nellie learns that the mother of Emile's children was an island native, she refuses Emile's proposal of marriage. No. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about that. Just, yeah, just keep hitting this one right here. There you go. Where were we? She refuses his proposal of marriage. Meanwhile, the strapping Lieutenant Joe Cable falls in love with a Tonkinese girl named Liat, but he too denies himself a future due to the same fears that haunt Nellie. When Emile accompanies Joe on a dangerous mission that claims Joe's life, Nellie chooses to embrace a future with Emile and his children, thus confronting and conquering her prejudices. And again, great music in that one, great food, cash bar. What else could you ask for? If you're not going to go to that show, you can come with Wendy and I up to the Panhandle. We're going to do a Florida Panhandle tour starting on Cinco de Mayo. First night, we're going to go to the brand new Drury Plaza in Tallahassee. We've got 2 nights in Tallahassee. Wendy's going to put together a little bit of a Cinco de Mayo celebration in the lobby while we have our 5:30 kickback. If you don't know about Drury's, Drury has their 5:30 kickback. With your room key, you get a little card that entitles you to 3 beverages in the bar there. So beer, wine, mixed drinks, whatever you like. Plus they have the Drury dinner. They've got, serviceable food for dinner there. No steak and lobster, but enough to get you by. And we're going to see all kinds of great things there. We got a fantastic step-on guide up in Tallahassee. We're going to tour the Capitol, FSU. We're going to see Ray Charles's childhood home and a monument to him. We're going to go to the Goodwood Museum. We're going to visit Payne's Prairie and hopefully see some buffalo and other exciting critters and just have a really, really nice time. May 13th, we've got Ybor City with lunch at Gaspar's Grotto. And if I remember right, that was lunch on your own on that one. Dad is going to be doing his famous patented Ybor City tour. You're going to have time at the museum. How many of you would like to travel to Cuba? Okay, we can take you to Cuba in Tampa because there's a park there that actually is Cuban territory. It belongs to the embassy. So if you step into that park, technically you're in Cuba. And while we're doing that, we're going to drop off the other part of the group at the Hard Rock Casino so they can play some games, have some lunch, and enjoy all of the amazing artifacts on display there, like Elvis's gold piano and some of his jumpsuits, Johnny Cash guitars, all kinds of fantastic Beatles memorabilia. A lot of good stuff to see there. May 16th, our lunch punch is going to go back to Bahama Breeze. That's one of my top 10 restaurants, and I'm up to about 200 restaurants. We've done about 100 of them. So I've got about 100 left we haven't tried yet. You guys keep suggesting new places, and I keep trying to work them in. And eventually, I'll probably never catch up to all the suggestions, but I keep trying. Anyway, Bahama Breeze was very well liked. It's on the water. Food's really good. And again, we'll do birthdays and anniversaries and just have a really good time. Saturday, the 18th, we've got Fisherman's Village. They're doing their Celtic Festival. So you can go down there, see some kilts, listen to some bagpipes, enjoy some great food deals and some sidewalk sales. Usually on Saturdays, they have folks exhibiting some of the animals from the Peace River Wildlife Center. I was down there for New Year's, and they had this beautiful owl, and she was on her perch, and you never seen such a vocal owl. Every time anybody came near her, she hooted, and she was just, I wanted to get her on tape and record her. It was easy because she never stopped talking. It's kind of like an owl version of Wendy. Dad's got his Savannah trip coming. Dad leaves on my birthday. I think he planned that on purpose so he didn't have to get me nothing. Anyway, he's going to Savannah on my birthday, May 20th. He's got 8 meals included. He's staying at the brand new Savannah Pooler Drury Inn, and I believe that's a Drury Plaza also. The upgrade on Drury Plaza is besides the 5:30 kickback, they still do that, but they also, if the food there doesn't grab you, they actually have a nice restaurant right in the lobby. And we have several Drury Plazas coming up that we're using. In fact, the trip to the Eclipse, when we stay in New Orleans, that's a Drury Plaza, and it's right downtown. We got 2 historic house tours, a step-on guide, lunch and cruise on the Savannah River. And one of my favorite features, he's having, I think it's lunch at the Pirate House. And it's a really cool restaurant. It is really old. I think it goes back to like the mid to late 1700s, something like that. It is where Robert Louis Stevenson actually wrote Treasure Island. He stayed there a week or 2 and in one of the lofts. And if you're there, ask your waitress if they'll let you go down to the basement. It is kind of tricky. It's got a steep stairway, so you got to be okay with stairs. But the story goes that if you had too much to drink, like some folks do, especially back in the day. You might wake up on a British ship in the Navy. That's how Terry got in the Marine Corps. Anyway, it's going to be a great trip. It is sold out, actually, so I don't know why I'm babbling about it. But you can get on the wait list. I don't know how long it is, but you never know. Sometimes we get folks in last minute. Wendy's going to do a shopping trip, thrifting in Tampa. And so she's been really researching this. She's found a bunch of really good thrift shops. Some of them specialize in high-end clothing that is being resold. So you can get some really nice stuff for a nice price. And she's going to do I'm not sure where she's going for lunch on that one, but that'll be lunch.
Fowler Avenue.
What is it?
Fowler Avenue.
Fowler Avenue? Is that all she said?
Lunch. Yep, so I don't, no, there's almost a place that she was
Oh,
telling me.
okay. Gotcha.
I was over.
Away. May 30th, we've got the Craft Luncheon Cruise. That'll be on the Hillsborough River. You can notice the ship is kind of low hung there. That's so it can go under all the bridges on the Hillsborough River. On a luncheon cruise with us there, they can only go up the river a little ways, most of them. This one can go all the way up the river. They're going to take you a good long ways, give you some of the history and stories about Tampa and the river. They're going to serve an exquisite 5-star, beautiful luncheon. They do ask that you dress kind of nicely because it's a little higher end. And based on the price, you can kind of tell that. But it's probably not one we'll do very often, especially because of that price. It's not cheap, but we wanted to give it a try. It's brand new. The ship actually should be launching within the next week. So we're going to catch it while it's all brand new. Day after that, we're going to go to the Myakka Elephant Ranch. That'll have lunch on your own at the Cracker Barrel. And it's a great experience. We do the 45-minute enrichment with the elephants. So you get to visit with the elephants. You get to pose with them, take pictures. Buffy took great pictures last time we were there. A lot of folks had the elephant put their trunk around them. And so they were very friendly. I do tell you, right now we've got, I think, 25, 30 people on there. We've got room on the bus. However, this is one where they only open the experience to 80 people. They've got about 20 spaces left. So those will probably sell out in the next week or two. So if you think you're going to wait until a couple days before and call me and book it, you're going to be disappointed. They're going to be sold out. I won't be able to get you a seat. Because one thing we don't do is gamble and buy a whole bunch of seats and hope we can sell them. Once you book it and pay for it, we're going to lock in your seat and get you set up. Okay, so time for a little more inspiration. Inspiration time. I like that one. That's probably one reason I'm a Scoutmaster. Spending time with children is more important than spending money on children.
Amen.
And it makes you appreciate when you're not with children.
Amen.
That's another reason to be in Scouts. Nature cheaper than therapy. The trip I want to do again, we did a canoe trip for a week on the Swanee River. And that was so soothing. And they've got such nice camping facilities along the river. And here's Lao Tzu. He says, if you're depressed, you're living in the past. If you're anxious, you're living in the future. If you're at peace, you're living in the present. And that's a good place to stay. And jumping into June, we're going to start June off with swing, big band music from like the 1930s, 1940s. Great tunes for you. And that's going to be at the Broadway Palm Dinner Theater down in Fort Myers. That'll be the only thing we're seeing that day. They don't have a show in the small theater. We don't have another destination, so that's going to be the only trip for that day. And swing exploded out of Harlem and shattered cultural and ethnic barriers. It's going to include great dancing songs like It Don't Mean a Thing If It Ain't Got That Swing, Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy, In the Mood, Sing, 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 Stop at the Savoy, Cry Me a River, Bounce Me Brother, and more. That's good music. You betcha. June 2nd, Sunday, we're going to go over to Disney Springs, and you'll have your choice of things to do. They do have a thing now called Weekend Brunch. They used to call it Gospel Brunch, and they bring in gospel groups. Now it's more secular, more just regular music, but they have a very nice brunch menu. Brunch will be on your own. I couldn't really set it up as a package easily because it's order a la carte. So you can make your reservations and book this and have a nice lunch and enjoy the music. You can actually sit outside too. They've got some shade outside you can enjoy. And if you don't want to do the House of Blues, Disney Springs is a great place to explore. It's not bad even in June. It is hot out, but all the venues are air conditioned, nice and cold. So all you got to do is scoot between buildings and get in that air conditioning. You got 1,000,001 things to see and do there. They got the House of Disney. They've got a movie theater. They got a bowling alley. They've got a Godiva chocolates. If you just walk by the Godiva chocolates, you can smell them from the sidewalk when you go by. My favorite store there is called the Art of Disney. You got to get all the way to the end down by Rainforest Cafe, past T-Rex, and it's full of really amazing artwork. I've got a few pieces in our house. Wendy and I spent, I think it was our 4th wedding anniversary at Disney, and we got to have a room at the Contemporary for one night. And since it was our anniversary, my first wife decided that was a good time to make sure I had the kids. So it was a really memorable anniversary. But you could see Cinderella's castle from there. I got a model of the castle that lights up. It's a really beautiful piece, and they sell stuff like that in the Art of Disney. So those are your 2 options for that day. On Saturday, June 8th, we're going to go down to Sarasota for the Mote Marine Laboratory. And it's a fantastic aquarium, lots of critters to see. They have a nice restaurant and great educational place. What's that?
You can use the loop.
Yes, you could. Lunch on your own is what LOU stands for. Smart Alex. Also that day, since it's just down the road, we'll have a ride over to St. Armand Circle so you can have some nice lunch and do some great shopping there. They've got a Kurt Kilwin's ice cream and chocolate. They've got a Columbia restaurant. They've got a Tommy Bahamas restaurant. They have a Sperry Topsiders store. So if you need a new pair of boat shoes, you can hook yourself up there. A lot of great shopping there. June 9th, we're leaving for Discover, Tennessee. And this is going to be a lot of fun. I packed a lot of really good stuff into this. It is a little up on the price, but there's so much going on in this. That's where the price comes from. You're getting a lot of great features. So we got 6 days and 5 nights. Yeah, 6 days, 5 nights. We're going to have tours in Chattanooga, Nashville, and Memphis. In Chattanooga, we're going to do the Incline Railway, Rock City, and Ruby Falls. Now, if you don't want to do Ruby Falls, because that is, you go down an elevator into these caverns. I know some of you guys don't like caves. Well, the other option is not too far away is the Tennessee Aquarium. So you'll have the option to do the aquarium instead of the caves. And so that's going to be what's going on in Chattanooga. We're going to then head to Nashville. We're staying at the brand new Drury Plaza in downtown Nashville, literally walking distance from all the honky tonks and the museums and the great restaurants. So we're going to get there early afternoon, get you checked into the hotel, and then you'll have all afternoon and evening to explore downtown Nashville, go listen to some great music, and have a fantastic time there. And the next morning after breakfast at the Drury, we're going to head to Memphis, a little driving tour in Memphis, get checked into our Drury Inn there, and then we're going to go to Graceland on the next day. We'll have a very nice tour of Graceland, get to see Elvis's home and see all the crazy stuff to do with Graceland. We'll see his cars and his airplanes. And we're going to also have lunch at Vernon's Smokehouse, named after his dad, Vernon Presley. And from there, we're going to start heading back home. We're going to go back to Atlanta to the Drury near the airport there. So that is that tour. A lot of great stuff going on that one. June 10th, if you want to do that while we're out of town, you can go to the Hard Rock Casino and go win you some money and have a great lunch. June 20th, our lunch bunch for June is going to go to the Tarpon Turtle.
Excellent.
A few of you were on that last mystery tour we did, where we went to the game show place, and this is where we had lunch. And I had not a single person tell me that they didn't love the Tarpon Turtle. So I can't fight City Hall. If you guys like it that much, let's do it for a lunch bunch. Sounds good to me. June 22nd, we're going to go to Lake Alfred for 2 destinations. Number 1 will be the back porch and the stable gifts. And they've got a garden shop there. You can have a nice lunch on the porch. This is the place when you go, the menu is like this big, and they give you golf pencils, and you put what you want on the menu. The waitress takes it, and they come back with your lunch in a little picnic basket. And it's really good food, and it probably only costs you 10 or 12 bucks altogether. So it's not very expensive. And then you can do some shopping. They have a lot of nice home decorations and garden supplies and all kinds of great stuff there. Now, the other part of the bus is going to be taken over to Lavender and Lace Tea Room, where they're going to do a nice tea service and lunch. So it won't just be tiny little tea sandwiches. It's going to be some real sandwiches, so you won't go home starving. Terry's very excited. He's even practicing with his pinky.
No, that wasn't my pinky.
Sunday, June 23rd, we're going back to Marina Jack's. That's down in Sarasota Bay. You can see the beautiful Marina Jack too. It's enclosed and air conditioned, so you won't burn up on the boat. If you want to go up and get some sun on the upper deck, you sure can. You'll probably see some dolphins swimming around the boat. Beautiful Mediterranean architecture, gorgeous blue water, and a fantastic lunch and a cash bar. Wendy's going to come to the rescue and do a fantastic Sarasota history tour with you. She's been doing homework on Sarasota. That'll have lunch on your own. She hasn't decided where lunch is going to be yet. Maybe, let's see, Sarasota. Der Dutchman, maybe. Maybe lunch on your own at Der Dutchman. We'll talk to her about that. But you know, Wendy, it's always an entertaining tour. You're going to hear circus stories. You'll probably hear some ghost stories, and you'll hear some made-up stories. It's up to you to figure out which is which. All right, so time for some more inspiration. 2 things to remember in life: take care of your thoughts when you are alone, and take care of your words when you are with other people. That's good advice. We could all remember that. I don't have time to worry about who doesn't like me. I'm too busy loving the people. You know, poor Charlie Brown probably needs that hug. He doesn't have a very easy time. Finally, whoever said diamonds are a girl's best friend never owned a doll.
That's true.
Dogs are the best.
And yet you never have
Yeah. Well, I do want to tell you my favorite new animal. If I can get rid of those rabbits, we were at Zoo Atlanta, and there's a critter called a bitterong. That's commonly called a bear cat, and it's about the size of a medium-sized dog, maybe a little bigger. Kind of shaggy black fur, long tail, and has a face kind of like a fox or something. But when they're bred in captivity, the males and the females don't get along right away. And so when the male comes near the female, she makes this horrible shrieking noise, which I was overlooking at the tiger, and I heard that, and I turned around and went, "What in God's name is that noise?" And she was up in the tree going, "Rah!" at the male. The funny part was there was a young male tiger in the enclosure next to them, and the tiger, every time she went, "Rah!" the tiger would look over at them and go, "Worst neighbors in the world."
That's cute.
Aren't they sweet? You've never seen a tiger look just disgusted like that before. It was really funny.
Oh, there's a good spring.
And they smell like
Yep.
popcorn.
Yeah, they do. They smell like popcorn. If you know how to use YouTube, look up Bitterong Scream, and you can hear them. I tried to get the video for it, but I ran out of time. Otherwise, I would have shared it with you. So Thursday, July 4th, we're going to go down to Calypso Queen. Same trip we did last year. Great way to see fireworks. You're out on the water. The boat can chase fireworks all around the coast. It's going to include a real nice dinner, beer, wine, rum punch, live music, dancing, circus acts. Terry's probably going to perform acrobatics. So, yeah, there is traffic. That is the one downside. It is tricky getting out of there. So don't make a hot date for after the fireworks. It's going to take us a while to get out of the port. And without a helicopter, there's no fast way. Unless we could talk the boat into dropping us off somewhere with no traffic. After that, we've got Niagara Falls coming. Niagara Falls in Toronto. And you do have to have a passport for this trip. If you don't have an up-to-date passport with 6 months left on it, then, and you want to do this trip, get on it right away. We have about 40 people on it already. So we'll probably take 8 or 9 more and call it a day and start the wait list. So if you want to join Wendy and I on this trip, get on there now. It has 4 nights in the Niagara Falls area, 14 meals included. That's a lot of meals. It's got guided tours at Niagara Falls and Toronto. We're going to do the Hornblower Niagara Cruise, which is similar to Maid of the Mist. Basically the same idea. We're going to go see a great castle in Canada. The price on this is spectacular. And we'll work in a whole lot more. Those are all the great reasons to go. Now, here are the things that you should know before you make the decision. It is a diamond tour. What that means is I won't know the hotels till about a month before the trip goes. When we do get the list of hotels, we examine it very carefully. We make sure we check the reviews on every single hotel, make sure they're up to our standards. If they're not, we'll challenge it with Diamond Tours and work on it. In order to keep the price that low, to do this trip in 9 days, there will be a few days on there where we're going a lot of mileage in one day. So we'll still have rest breaks and lunch breaks. But what that means is a lot of times we will stop for dinner and then drive another hour or so to the hotel. We will do our best to keep those days as short as we can so that we're not keeping you out all hours of the night. But that's a little bit of the trade-off there where you're going to have a few long days on the bus. But then we got 4 nights in the Niagara area. So once we get there, you unpack once and we get to bitty bop around the Niagara Falls area and see all our sights and probably not drive like crazy there. So that's Niagara Falls. We've got Charleston, South Carolina. I have a flyer for that in the back, and that just came out. That's got 5 meals included. It's got a Holiday Inn Express in Mount Pleasant, local step-on guides, a Fort Sumter cruise tour around Fort Sumter. You're going to do a Charleston Tea Garden, Edmonston Alston House, and a whole lot more. Again, there's a flyer for that in the back. The one I did leave out, fall foliage, is in the back too. That's going up to the Smoky Mountains and Dollywood and all that. So that's in October. There's a flyer for that in the back. I'll get that in the slideshow for next month. Trips coming up. Dad's working on a Myrtle Beach, I think, for November. Georgia Foothills sometime in the fall. Now, if I could just get him to fill in July and August so we have something to sell those months, that would be swell. We're working on Amish Country, New York and Kentucky, so maybe that's what's going to get plugged in July and August. We will see. What day is it? You guys want to know the holidays today, don't you? It's Ravioli Day, if you like your Italian food. It's also Macaroon Day, if you like French pastries. Dogs in Yellow Day, so you need to dress your doggies in little yellow raincoats when you get home, Barb. It's the French Language Day, so speaking French to your dogs. Oui, oui. Storytelling Day. It's Hufflepuff Day for you Harry Potter fans. And it is Alien Abduction Day, so watch out. Where is Wendy? I don't know. Maybe they got her. I heard that Terry was abducted by the aliens, but they brought him back real quick. So who has a question? Any questions? Going once.
I had a question.
Yes, ma'am.
You didn't call on me, but I remembered it.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't see you. What was it?
I remember.
You don't remember.
I don't remember.
I got a scout that's like you. Yes, ma'am.
The seating for the Chinese dance, how will we know where that is at the McCarthy?
We will hand the tickets out on the bus. I believe our seating is kind of middle of the orchestra section. And when you book a ticketed seated event like that, it's important if you have somebody you know on the bus that you want to sit by, that you let us know so we can put your seats together. For that reason, we don't usually finalize the seating until usually the day before the trip, because generally we get a flood of phone calls the day before the trip telling me I won't want to go on this tour if I can't sit with so-and-so. So it's better if you let us know early before we've mangled the tickets. Any other questions? Going once? Still can't remember?
Let's move on.
Your headband may be too tight.
You like it?
I do. It's very Eastery. Okay, next month's meeting, we'll be back here April 17th. The kitchen should be back in full operation, so you should be able to have a delicious Big Apple buffet lunch next month. And we're ready to do Where in the World.
There's the first one.
Todd's house. Where's Becky? Oh,
There's your barricade. I don't know if they can hear it.
here, everybody be real quiet and listen.
Come on. Scream.
That's the Bitterons. Wouldn't you love to have them around the house?
No.
So Becky Weber thought that was the ceiling in my bedroom. It is not. Not a bad guess. That was funny. Oh, I've got two who got it right. I wonder how they figured it out.
Yeah,
And no others?
no, others are just in other places.
Yeah.
Chandeliers.
All right, so I have two who guessed right. We have Barbara randomly picked one because,
What did they guess?
yeah, they are really close.
What did they guess?
I'm going to tell you
Oh.
after I pick a winner. Okay, Debbie Stubbs is going to be our winner.
Yes,
She did cheat a little bit.
I took the same picture.
She went on the trip to Macon with us. This was the Hay House, built in the mid-1800s. It has an elevator that was installed in 1929 that fits two people in it. So we did use that elevator. It's kind of like going fair. It was an interesting ride. But yeah, that was a picture of that's a picture of this chandelier. And I like to take weird pictures, so I got down on the ground under it and tried to line it up nice and straight. But yeah, if you haven't been to the Hay House, I will probably do a tour back to Macon. But when we do the Hay House next time, I think we're going to have an optional evening tour. Because one of the questions I asked is, does this place have secret passageways and hidden rooms? And the answer was yes, which is really cool and creepy. So I can't wait to go back, check that out. So we have some goodies to give away. Let me see. Oh my golly. We're going to give away a lot of stuff. So would you go back and get Debbie to pick a winner for me?
Debbie's the winner.
I'm going to have Debbie pick a winner. Yeah, those just get thrown back in.
Oh.
I've got Debbie. Okay, the first prize is going to be a little milk chocolate with hazelnut pieces chocolate bar.
That's mine.
Wow. Who did we pick?
I like cake.
I don't know, it's all folded up.
Oh, Lord.
That's not mine.
I haven't got my glasses on, of course.
Edith Hosley.
Yay!
Edith wins that one.
I like hazelnut
Congratulations. So
cheese.
get Edith to pick the next one for me. You
Edith,
are very welcome.
do you like hazelnut?
Next one, I got a dark chocolate bar for somebody,
No.
some lucky winner.
Marina.
Spears. Let's see if she's got reflexes.
No.
Oh, that kinda. Okay, Marina's gonna pick the next one. Let's see, next we're gonna give out milk chocolate kisses.
Becky Weber?
Becky Weber, after she treated me like that with her answer. All right. That's good. Becky. Okay, next one will be Russell Stover assorted 4 flavors of chocolate. Building up to the Reese's cups. No cheating going on here, all right.
No, it was way in the bottom.
Terry's turn to pick. All right, the top prize today, Reese's peanut butter cups. Donated by who brought me all the goodies? Was that Kat who brought this? Thank you, Kat. She's filling in for Buffy today. And Terry Stiff gets a peanut butter cup. Oh my God. Here we go, Ken. Yeah, that's the computer doing something weird.
Okay, we're done with that. All right.
I don't know what that's doing. Anyway, thank you guys for coming today. And Ollie and I will be here if you want to sign up or book anything or pay for any trips you got coming up.
Wait for my husband to come back.
Yours too, huh?
Yeah, he's only had it since the 29th of February.
Yeah, they have to install a new backlight for my screen.
Well, mine had power. We had a blip, power blip.
Yeah.
Everything was fine except for my computer. So he had a central part and he got it and it was
I'm glad it's
defective.
at least recoverable because it's a nice computer.
Is yours?
Yeah, that's what I dropped on the trip. My neighbor gave it to me.
Hey, all right, we'll see you.
Oh, thank you, ma'am. Appreciate your
See you
assistance.
tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Okay.
All right,
See you
folks.
tomorrow, Bart.
That's it for today. Hope you had a good time, and we'll see you on your next Travel is Fun trip. Come here and say hi to the folks at home, Debbie.
Hello, folks at home.
Yes? Yes. Why?
Because
Too
she
sweet.
needs it more than I do.
Really? Oh, you're a sweetheart.
Hey, I'll win again, so I'll be able to win, right? If I get the mirror?
Yes,
Okay.
I'll put you back in the drawing.
Okay, good enough.